Welcome back to Her Drive, the podcast where we dive into the twists, turns, and transformational journeys of women who are redefining what's possible. I'm your host, Cynthia. Today I'm joined by Tiffany Thompkins, co-founder of Opal and Joy, a company on a mission to transform how women experience perimenopause. For Tiffany, this work is deeply personal. When she first began struggling with these intense symptoms of perimenopause, she found relief through CBD. And that discovery changed everything. It not only helped her sleep and think clearly again, but it also revealed a huge gap in support for women going through this milestone. Drawing on her 20 plus years of leadership in the natural products industry, Tiffany co created Opal and Joy, innovation, science led, cannabinoid based products designed specifically for women in perimenopause and menopause, partnering with women's health doctor. I'm going to redo this. Partnering with a women's health doctor, Tiffany has developed blends that combine clinically researched hemp science with adaptogenic and Ayurvedic plants to provide real life support. So, hi, Tiffany. Thank you for being here and welcome to Her Drive.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. This is such an honor. It's a great podcast. And I love what you cover. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. Thank you.
My pleasure. So, love what you're doing, especially with bringing in like science-based information and the ancient wisdom of Ayurveda. And for those who don't know what Ayurveda is, can you give a little description?
Yeah. So Ayurveda really is looking at, for us, it's looking at how plants can help create the solutions that are needed for our body in a way that's very holistic. So if you think of a whole body system, we're looking at ways that plant science can work energetically with our bodies and help us. I mean, there's so many beautiful things about this, and they help us be able to move through life even better than we can on our own. And these plants are given to us as a gift, and it's a wonderful way for us to be able to incorporate them into our daily lives.
Yeah. Yeah, so beautifully. I had the honor of studying Ayurveda, what year was it? Last year, for a whole year dedicated to just understanding a bit of it, right? But it is it's a simple process yet so complex, but the way that you described it and working with the body makes total sense to me through the magic of these plants and herbs and substances that arrive on the planet. And one of those being a cannabinoid that is kind of the leading ingredient, it seems, in your products.
Yes. So one of the cannabinoids that we are using for our sleep products, CBD, is absolutely something that changed. It changed my life. If you're going through perimenopause, a lot of times you have problems with sleep. Many women suffer from sleep disturbances. And I think as a society, we are pretty much plagued with sleep disturbances as well, which is unfortunate, but especially for women going through the perimenopause change. And CBD was something that my co founder and best friend came to the rescue with to help me learn to get my body into a better state of homeostasis, to be able to relax, to be able to fall into a good sleep, and to be able to stay asleep when you get those 2 or 3 a.m. wake up calls, which happen quite a bit at this stage of life. And CBD is a beautiful plant that is non psychoactive, that really hones in on the body to help you rest, and it fights inflammation, and it's a superpower of a product that again is a gift to all of us. And so when my partner and I were thinking about, what are the ingredients that we need to combine to really help women, CBD with the Ayurvedic herbs were something that we immediately thought this could be really great. Adding in additional mushrooms was something that we thought was really important for women's health, and we came up with a product called Sleep and or a sleep support system with a product called Rest and Relax to help women do exactly that.
I appreciate you so very much. For this is a female focused podcast.
Yes.
Um, And our audience is predominantly female, but there are some men that join us, and some women who may not be aware of exactly what's going on, or first, what is perimenopause and what is happening during this transitional point in a woman's life.
Yeah, so every woman with ovaries and uterus will go through perimenopause. It's similar to the transition of puberty when you're younger and young women start menstruating. This is the other side of that. So you're going through hormonal fluctuations because actually your ovaries are going to stop producing eggs, and you're eventually going to stop menstruating, which is then that point of menopause. So perimenopause is the period before menopause, which usually starts in your 40s, mid 40s. The average age for menopause is your early 50s, say 51 to 55. It can start up to 10 years before you actually go through menopause. So menopause is the day after a year of cessation of your periods. And it can be it's a transitional phase, but it can be a real period of a lot of hormonal fluctuations, which can wreak a little bit of havoc on your body, or in my case, a lot of havoc on your body as you transition through.
Yeah, thank you for that beautiful description. Yeah, I think menopause is talked about often, but many times in life we leave out the transitions, and this seems like a very important part of that space. And for the women who are just now getting this understanding of what perimenopause is there a way in which you could go back in time, perhaps,
Yes.
and explain that, like, the cycle of a woman's hormonal life, where it would be really easily digested by a young person.
Yes. So, you're going through life, you have major hormonal changes, usually happening when you go through puberty, and you start menstruating. Uh, Additionally, when you become pregnant and have a child, and a third is when you're going through menopause. And really, for menopause or perimenopause, it's about the reduction of estrogen and progesterone and often testosterone in your body. But estrogen is really the powerhouse hormone that does so much for us. It's actually associated with every organ and multiple functions across our entire bodies. It's a superhero. And progesterone is a beautiful, very nourishing hormone that really blocks a lot of the issues that would be associated if we have a decrease in estrogen. So it's they work in harmony to make sure that your body is optimally set up for for pregnancy and then beyond, and making sure that you're healthy. Then when you start decreasing estrogen because you're no longer there, your body is no longer going to have children, you're reaching this other milestone in your life and beyond menstruation. When those hormones start decreasing, your body kind of goes into a weird state. So for me personally, and I'll speak from experience, one of the first things I noticed was I actually became quite depressed and anxious, and was thinking, what is happening with me? Why am I feeling this way? Shortly after, usually start gaining some weight, especially in the middle regions. I started having joint pain. I started losing hair on my head. I started growing it on my chin. I thought, what on earth is happening? But mostly I was going through a really tough time where I didn't feel like myself. And I was actually mentally sort of mourning the youthful version of me, because I thought menopause was all about aging and feeling like I was getting old before my time, because I actually started going through perimenopause in my 30s because I had a condition called premature ovarian failure, which meant my ovaries were no longer producing viable eggs for pregnancy. And usually that happens, if that happens, it usually is happening in your 40s, but mine started in my 30s. So I was going through, night sweats, hot flashes, all of these things in my later 30s, and not really having others my same age going through those experiences. So it can be a real mental and physical transformation. And yeah, we have to go easy on ourselves when this happens. And unfortunately, in the world, there's not a lot of doctors that look after you, because at medical school, a lot of times menopause is just an elective. So it's crazy that over 51% of the world goes through this transition, and not a lot of people know what's really going on. And women before us haven't really talked a lot about it, because I think there's a correlation with becoming, an old, invisible person once you're no longer, considered youthful and in your prime. And so there's a lot to unpack in society as to why women suffer through this.
Yeah, and the key thing here you said is a lot of women don't talk about it.
Yes.
Right, and or at least they weren't. I would argue now women are beginning to talk about it,
Yes.
and aging is starting to be celebrated, and looking at not just our 28-day cycle, but also looking at the cycle of life, right, and all the elements that come into play. So I am hopeful that with women like yourself, who are creating these amazing products and educating the masses on what's happening, can turn the tide, so that maybe we as women can start to truly step away from that marketing perspective of value only coming in youth, and really starting to understand that there's value at every single age and phase of life.
Absolutely. That's actually one of our missions, to be what we call perimenopause proud. And it's to talk about perimenopause, to embrace the change, to become educated and self-empowered, to understand what's happening in your body. I was told for over 3 years before I was able to go see an endocrinologist that, oh, it's in your head. This is just part of aging. You have to feel like total crap because you're a woman and no one's really paying attention to it. That's not good enough. There's no way that women should be suffering through this. There are lots of options on the market. There, more and more people are talking about it and creating solutions. And it's really about trial and error and finding things that are best for you. But one of the most important things that I think we take away as women reaching this stage in our life is to really start thinking and valuing ourselves. We have given, 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 given. We play a role in society that's really forced upon us. And a lot of times women they take themselves last. They take care of themselves as the last person, besides all the family. And this is a stage in life where you need to have kindness. You need to start reflecting. You really need to hone in deep on how you feel, and start embracing you. And we should be doing this a lot sooner in our lives, but we tend to be quite busy and are giving, giving, giving. And so this is a time that we really have to dive in and think about ourselves and how to take care of ourselves. Because if we don't do it now to set us up for a better future as well, aging will get harder. And yeah. So we're very excited about everyone talking. It's a big moment for perimenopause and menopause, and I'm just loving it, because this Opal and Joy has been many years in the making, and we just want to help as many women as we can through this transition.
So beautiful. And outside of working with the amazing supplements that you're providing, what are some ways that women can do what you've said? Like really start to tap into, stop pouring into themselves rather than pouring outward first.
Yeah. So some of the things I did was to take time, listen to my body, going for walks and exercising. A lot of us give up a lot of that later on in life because we're busy looking after children or businesses or work. And we have aging parents. I have aging parents. I have a daughter that's going through puberty now. It is the most hectic time. And so taking time for yourself. So some things I also do is journaling. It's really important that for me to reflect and to understand how my day is, to understand the gratitude that's around me, um, the love that I have for this universe, for this world, for humanity. I really pour a lot of thought into that. We can get bogged down with negativity, but I like to bring it up to say, actually, this is what I care about. This is what I love. This is what I discovered today. This is what I'm grateful for. There's talking to other women about perimenopause and searching for education. There's so many more resources out there. We're trying to put news out and build a bit of a database so that women can understand as well. Those are, I would say, some of the top priorities, to exercise, to take care of yourself, and to really just take the time to dive in introspectively.
Yeah, what that sounds like to me is spaciousness.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, just giving yourself some space. We're so often being tugged. That is, it's hard to release those tethers for a little while and just be with ourselves. But what an amazing season of life to offer yourself grace. And anytime my body is acting a certain way, I'm thinking, oh, it's asking me something that I haven't been giving to it. I've been ignoring something. So how can I listen here? Um, so it sounds like when women are really struggling with sleep, it would be an amazing opportunity to come and work with your supplements. You had touched on they have Ayurvedic herbs in them, some mushrooms within them, and CBD. I'm curious, like what I'm sure is a proprietary blend, but what inspired you to add these three different elements, and how do they work so well within the system of a female body?
Yes, great question. So, rest and relax are two separate products that we created to work synergistically. So, rest is our cannabinoid. So, it's our CBD, CBN, and we added linalool, which is from lavender, to really help work as a team, to help calm and help you sleep and help with any sort of joint or any sort of slight pain that you can get. We did this specifically because as estrogen leaves reduces in your body, the lubrication that it provides in your joints can sometimes leave you with the feeling of arthritis, but you don't have arthritis. It's just one of those horrible things. And so we really wanted to create a superpower combo of cannabinoids and adding linalool to create that calming, but also pain relief. Um, and that's the rest product. And so that's more of your deeper sleep. Then we added a product called Relax, which really is set up this is your Ayurvedic herbs. This is your holistic whole body focus. So we added ashwagandha, which is fantastic for women. We added a product of Relora, which has a lot of magnolia bark extract. We also added passion flower, and along with the mushrooms. And these products are really great for your endocrine system. So this is the system that's set up to help you with the release and regulation of hormones, with your metabolism, with mood, and also having a relaxive component that helps you support more sleep, but also with more balanced hormones comes with better sleep. So we looked at the endocannabinoid system with the cannabinoids, and we looked at the endocrine system with the Ayurvedic herbs and mushrooms. So together, synergistically, they work to help with really a wraparound to help rest and relax.
Oh, that all sounds so amazing. And it's interesting that we can get these flare ups in our system and think that it might be something else, but in real reality, it can be something a little bit more easeful to treat. Yeah, with something as beautiful as plants.
I know. I mean, I just keep thinking of these beautiful, beautiful gifts that we have on this planet. And for me, I have a background in natural products. I've been in the organic industry for a long time. We wanted to make sure we also created really clean plants. So not only do we have these plants, but we wanted to make sure they're as organic as we could possibly, source them. Even our packaging, we didn't want to create anything that were endocrine disruptors. So the chemicals that even come on receipts, most receipts are endocrine disruptors. They're toxins. So we want to get away from toxicity. We don't want pesticides. We don't want heavy inks. That we wanted soy-based inks. We tried to use as many plant and natural ingredients as we possibly could, because we don't want to counter the effects that we're trying to help alleviate in our own products. So very clean, plant focused, science driven. That's exactly what we set out to do.
I love that so very much. Um, yeah, I think there's many things that can go by the wayside, especially you mentioned packaging. So
Yes.
brilliant of you to do so. So for the women looking to work with your products, what's the best way for them to come online to see what you have and figure out what might be best for them?
Yeah, so it's opalandjoy.com is our website. And we have a little quiz to help you kind of figure out, do you need rest or relax? We actually have a CBD tincture that's really, really effective and fast acting for those moments when you just need a bit of cool. It's one of the best CBD tinctures I've ever tried. I'm a little bit partial, but we have these products available online on our website. So we ship them all over the country. We have sample packs too. So those that might just want to try, a 7-day supply versus a 30-day, we created sample packs that's easy and travel size. The rest will work pretty quickly. We packed as much of our product as we could into these capsules, so we don't have fillers and the like. They are extremely efficacious. So rest is going to work really well, quickly. With relax and the other supplements, and the Ayurvedic herbs, it really you need a couple of months to get these into your body, so that your body's like, oh yeah, this is my support system. Especially when it's been stressed. So you need to take that product for many months, I'd say, before you really start feeling the effects, and that's quite common with supplements. But the dose of CBD that we've put together is really helpful to help women right away, get some relief.
Yeah. And for those who aren't familiar with where CBD derives from or what it is, can we go into that a little bit?
Yeah, so CBD is sort of essential part of the hemp plant, and it's been around obviously forever and ever. Hemp is that super super incredible plant that can be used for so many things. So it's not THC, which a lot of people think, oh gosh, marijuana and all these things. No, we're not here to get you high. We're not here to do that. We're here to help support your endocannabinoid system. So CBD comes from the hemp plant. It's grown specifically for CBD, for that extraction, and other cannabinoids like CBN or CBG. These are important for your endocannabinoid system to help regulate that system, to help pull that system to the surface and help getting it started. And with that helps your body regulate, relaxation, being calm, making sure, it also helps with pain because it helps with inflammation. And it's a superpower plant that I think, one, everyone should have, access to all the time. It's life changing. It's available to us. Make sure you just find it for a reputable source, because for us, we are Colorado grown hemp, which is where we get our CBD, which obviously is really important to us because we want something efficacious and safe and not filled with pesticides. So just check the background of the company you buy it from. But it is a superpower plant, and I think everyone has the right to this amazing, amazing product.
I love it. I love it so much. And obviously, your personal story really impacted the decision to move forward with creating these supplements. And you have a background in this industry, it seems. So, what was the deciding factor with your co-founder? Like, let's go for it. Let's create these supplements. This is not just a dream, but this is going to become a reality.
Yeah. So when we started this journey, perimenopause, nobody really spoke about it. I was, I figured out by then what was happening, and I actually got on hormone replacement therapy because I was suffering really badly, and it worked really well for me. But I still wasn't sleeping well, and there's, I still had pain. I still had quite a few things going on. So when your best friend's like, she's 10 plus years in the cannabis industry, she was like, you gotta try CBD. And I tried it and I thought, oh my gosh, this is working so well. And she's like, well, you should be using this with other ingredients that are so powerful, that have a wraparound to really help and support women and help your brain. And I thought, yeah, let's figure this out. So we spent 4 years working with a naturopath and who's an MD as well, to come up with the products that we have today. And that aha moment really was saying, we've got something. This was so profoundly impactful for me, and it helped me so much. We got to get this out to other women. This has got to get going. So I think we're hitting the market at a good time. It's just starting to really take off. As you said, women are talking about it, and we want to be there to help support women. We have a whole line of products that we love to bring to market. We're starting with sleep because that's one thing that we hear the most. Most women are really suffering from sleep that we talk to. And that was my personal story. So we said, let's start with this, because if you start with sleep and you get a good night's sleep, you set yourself up for a better day. And a lot of the other issues that you could be having, or symptoms of perimenopause that you could be having, might lessen if you get a good quality sleep the night before. And so that was that aha moment, and we went for it.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love it so very much. And I find that when we solve problems for ourselves, it's typical that others have that same problem.
Yes.
And I am so glad that you have the wisdom and the background and the desire to aid others in their journey too.
Thanks. It's been a lot of fun. It's been great to see women who have written us and saying, oh, wow, I haven't been able to sleep through the night, or I wake up at 3 a.m. every night and it takes me an hour and a half, 2 hours to get to sleep, and I'm exhausted when I wake up. And when women write you and say, your product has helped me so much, it's the best feeling in the world. It's like, oh, it's just to be able to help other women through this. It brings tears to my eyes, because it's such an amazing feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so beautiful. Well, if you could go back in time and give a younger Tiffany some words of wisdom, to what age would you go and what would you say?
I would say, this is perimenopause. Don't fret. Um, Take care of yourself. Get moving. Make sure you're eating a balanced diet, but take care of yourself. Start really thinking about what it is that you need for your body and for yourself, and start listening. And to say CBD is here as your friend. Every woman, I just cannot wait for more and more women to start in working, with CBD and Ayurvedic herbs and mushrooms. I mean, God, what an amazing gift. And start early. Start creating good sleep habits. Start taking care of yourself. and don't put yourself last, which Cynthia, which sounds like you already do, which is so incredible because you're, you're going to be set up.
Thank you. Thank you. I hope so, but I believe it's an ongoing reminder that we each need to kind of set for ourselves, even if we know to pour into us. Sometimes there's those moments where you can't help but give and pour and pour and pour.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, but so grateful for the wisdom that you shared and like I said earlier, the desire to come forward with a wonderful product that helps women. I feel like so much misinformation, terrible products have been delivered to women for a very long time, and it's almost like been forgotten or not cared about, and just told to, like as you said, just suffer through it. This is what you have to do, and
Yeah.
that to me is absolute nonsense. Why do we have to suffer?
No, and we don't. And as well as doing this, we're very we want to work, politically to help make sure that there's measures. Women need to be, if you're doing medical tests, women's hormones, the difference between men and women, that women need to be studied as well, not just men. I mean, it wasn't until the 80s that women started becoming part of scientific research studies. I mean, this is yesterday. So there's so much work to be done. I really, really, really want to fund more research on cannabinoids and menopause. There's a lot of great science out there that we need to pull on, and we need society, governments, your general practitioner, your doctors to really get on board with women with menopause. We're seeing more and more women starting perimenopause and really having severe symptoms even earlier. I had, the loss of my ovaries at a younger age. No one told me I was going to be going through menopause at a younger age. So I went through menopause at 46, which is a lot, younger than the average. But some women that I'm seeing are going through it around 34, 35, complete menopause. Not having the opportunity to have children, there's fertility issues. We have a lot to do with menopause and all the way through, just putting women on the pill just to put them on the pill. Um, you know, there's a lot of issues with women's health that we need to be working towards, and I want to advocate for that.
Yeah, beautiful. I appreciate that desire. And it is so vital. And I believe it starts with really just educating women, young women, women of all ages, truly, um, about what are you putting into your body, onto
Yes.
your body, right? There, as you've mentioned, endocrine disruptors, right? Like perfumes, your standard tampons and pads, even
Yes.
panties and clothes. Like there's just so much that messes with that system. And in my non-medical opinion, it seems very connected, right? So, yeah, how could it not be?
Yeah, well, when you're filling your body with toxins, the food that we eat, the environment that we live in, uh, it's really unnecessary. And I could talk to you about this. Oh my gosh, so much. It's an extremely impassioned topic for me. I've been working in this field for a long time, and it is about education, and it's about also going to your doctor and saying, I have these issues going on. What are my options? Not what are you going to just give me and I'm going to take it because you only know this one path. It's really empowering to come with, and now we have to come with our own research. So Dr. Google is not always the best way to self-diagnose, but we need to start somewhere and come to the table saying, this is what I think it could be. Let's have conversations and let's trust each other with understanding the options. And that was when I finally got to an endocrinologist. She said, here's where I think you're at because of these reasons. Here are all the options that I know of, and let's talk about them and figure out what might be the right thing for you. Not everybody wants to go on HRT. Not everybody wants to, take other types of products. There's lots of ways to manage it, but that personal health is about personal health. But we need those options out there so we can make those informed decisions.
Beautiful. You'd also mentioned a naturopathic doctor, right? Who's also allopathic
Yes.
practitioner. And I love dancing in both of those spaces. And a personal story was with my OBGYN. I was having some issues, and the only thing they basically were saying is like, let's just wait, and then if the issue's still there, then you will have surgery. You'll have surgery. I was like, okay, not really wanting to do that. So I thankfully was going through my Ayurveda training, and I learned about like yoni pearls. So they're
Mm.
essentially the herb balls that you insert into your vagina, and it causes some shedding. And I went back to my OBGYN a little while later, and what was happening was completely gone. And I told her what I had done, and she had never heard of them
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
Right? She's like, "Oh, I don't know if that's safe or not, but it seemed to have worked." And I said, "Well, it definitely has worked. They've been around for a very long time, but it was an opportunity as the patient to come in and present another option, another way of healing to that doctor who, as you said, even though you're in an OBGYN office, their focus is feminine health. Even there's limited understanding based on what I think is a narrow scope. So there's never been a greater time to have more information and have that autonomy of self-care and education to have that conversation that you're talking
Yeah.
about.
That is a great example. I'm so glad that worked for you. And I think too, we can't expect just one person to know everything, but that self empowerment to be able to educate and figure out, hey, there might be some alternatives here, and try different things. That's awesome. And then to go back to your OBGYN and tell her, hey, look, hopefully she takes that on and says, you know what, I'm gonna look at this more. I've got
Yeah.
a real live, test case right in front of me. That's interesting. If she's a great doctor, it's about learning and keeping and right. We just keep learning, keep
That's
evolving.
like one of my favorite passions. Like, what can I learn?
Yeah.
Um, yeah. And for any of those who are in the medical professional and listening to this, do you have any words of wisdom for them?
Yeah. Get trained more and more in menopause. There's tons of research that's coming to the surface that's really interesting. One of the greatest, there's medical, where doctors come together for medical conferences. There's so many ways for the medical community to get engaged, but there's lots and lots of research that can be read. There's a lot of cool research about the rewiring of women's brains, which is something that I have really enjoyed. I love my brain coming out of menopause, being postmenopausal now. My brain is very rewired. I feel quite different. Um, I love the empowerment that I feel from this. My lack of care for some of the things I used to care about when I was younger is very different than what I do now. My reality is sharp, and I feel empowered, and I really, really love my brain. So cool things happen, out of this transition too. And it's such a blessing. And I feel sharp, and yeah, I just don't care as much as I do. And I care a lot more about myself. And I'm not afraid.
Mm.
Yeah, it's very different. It's cool.
That's so intriguing. And are the studies showing that this has to do like this is a common thing with women who go through
Yes.
the menopause?
Yeah.
Intriguing. Intriguing.
New synapses, new brain. Your brain really does get rewired. It's you come. It feels like a new stage. It's really hard to almost explain because it's quite quite something. You go through a period a lot of times where you have this thing called brain fog, which means you can't think of the word, which is great because I do a lot of public speaking, and then all of a sudden your brain goes blank, and I'm like, how do I get out of this? And then I usually say, I'm sorry, I'm having a menopause moment. But and then your brain shifts because your pituitary gland is not working so hard to push out to get your ovaries to work. So your brain shifting and your mental capacity switches again, and the way you think and feel, it changes significantly.
Wow, I did not know that. I am
I'm
deeply in.
stronger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like physically stronger.
I'm mentally stronger. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
It's
Amazing.
so cool.
Right on. Okay. So
Yeah.
I'll be ready when it happens for that.
Yes.
Shift. Oh, so beautiful. Well, for those who are listening who are not experiencing perimenopause just yet, is it still safe for them to work with your products, or is it specifically just for the perimenopause period?
No, honestly, if you're having trouble sleeping, they're totally safe. They're great products to help you with your sleeping. They're great products to help you, get into a rhythm of sleeping. You getting into the rhythm, getting away from your phone, taking time for good sleep hygiene, taking your supplements. These are things that really help you. These are things that we should be doing as young people to train ourselves through all of our life. So yeah, they're completely safe. They're great for your brain. I wake up feeling very clear. The mushrooms have that great effect on your brain, and
Amazing.
good
Beautiful.
stuff.
Yeah. Well, Tiffany, thank you so much for being here. It's been such a joy to learn from you and chat with you. If there's anything we haven't touched on that you would like to share, the floor is yours.
Yeah, no, I just want to say it's perimenopause. Menopause is not the end of life. It is not the doom and gloom. It is actually it's another opportunity of rebirth. It's another opportunity of transition and becoming even an even different you, right? And this evolution of yourself. And it's such a gift, and it's great to reach these ages, but it's also a time during menopause is to think about how you want to live when you're in your 70s, 80s, 90s, and starting to really take care of yourself so that you can age really well through that time in your life. And these are things we need to start thinking about at all ages, creating good hygiene and health and that introspective need to help us through these journeys. And yeah, just embrace it and be proud that we get to go through these. It's a life is a gift, and it's an amazing opportunity to make it another really cool journey.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. I love it so much. Well, thank you again, Tiffany, for
Thank you,
being here
Cynthia.
on Her Drive.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I love it.
Perfect, perfect. And for all my friends tuning in, please be sure to see the show notes to check out Tiffany's amazing creations. And as always, I invite you to share this with anyone whose head and heart could take in the nutrients of what Tiffany had to share today. Until next time, see you.